Yes, we're here. And I must give out some hellos. Hello to the Chinese. Somebody's paying attention because we're trying to teach people to speak Chinese over here. Not all the right words, but this is an over 18s cast. And it is blokes. Where's the bloke, love? Where's the bloke? Where's the bloke, love? Where's the bloke? 2 sugars, please. Oh, is he there? Is the man there?
Might be.
Might be.
Where else would it be? Like, I mean, could be on the beach, could be on holiday.
What, in this country? Oh, hey, listen.
Could be in a beer garden.
Tourist tax. We'll be coming on to some of that. And our main story of the evening is going to be that sad story about Henry Nowak. Okay. What a sad state of affairs we are in this country. But what can we say? It's all down to this guy.
I thought you were going to blame me then.
No. Not at all. It's all down to this guy. Okay? We need him out. But the problem is, we've got so many different things going on. And we got Makerfield going on. This guy says that he's not going anywhere. Okay? And we all know the reason why. Kia, you're... That's it. That's the reason. Okay? That's the reason. And we need you people out. Okay? And you know all this trouble that we got with interpreters.
We shouldn't really have any trouble, but go on.
Yeah, well, here are 2 guys that I think that can solve the problem.
Why do I get the feeling we're not going to solve
and
the
that
problem?
is unacceptable.
That's very good.
Eh?
Very
You guys do Nigerians after a car accident?
What is this, a challenge?
Uh-oh. It seems that my enemies have succeeded.
How about Indians rollerblading?
Oh my God, this is crazy. I never thought I'd be rolling.
I tell you, this is fantastic.
How about Persians paying the bill?
Listen, idiot, don't be stupid. Be smart. Let me pay bill. We can be friends.
You cannot, Baba. I have seen your bank account.
How about Chinese people at a fish market?
$1, $2, $3, orange, $4.
What you want? What you want? What you want? I don't have it. What you want? What you himself over there? What you want?
How about Scousers accused of theft?
Hey,
I'm fucking raging. I'm fucking raging. I'm being serious.
I'm being serious. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I'm serious.
It's fucked.
How about Jamaicans as therapists?
Hold on, Bernadette. It seems you're too concerned about your big weight. But no man like me love a big girl.
Yeah, Bernadette. What I'm hearing is you think you're Mary Poppins. What I'm sensing is your blood clot, pussy clot, bomber clot.
Do angry Cockneys?
That's bollocks.
Shut up.
Okay, now do Greeks arguing over the origin of olive oil?
Greeks invented everything. Greeks invented olive oil and call them the olive. I'm Stelios and this is Stavros.
This is Stelios, I'm Stavros, and we are real men. You know why we are real men?
Why?
Because we have very low voices.
How about Scottish picking up girls?
Oh.
Right, yeah, well, lassie, we're gonna find out who's gonna get pounded tonight.
Listen, one night with me, and you'll break up like the Starship Enterprise. She's breaking up, Captain! She's breaking up!
How about Arabs at a parent-teacher conference?
Listen, Miss Butterson, if you don't give a blast for my son and you don't bus him, we are going to bus kidney stone through your body.
This is Butterson. My son is intelligence. He has blind spot between the number 9 and 11. We're going to finish it.
Sorry.
What do you think? We need those 2 guys in the hospitals.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Put them in Parliament, it'll be more entertaining.
Actually, it might just fit if they're in Parliament with lots of... Oh, Jesus, don't. Okay, and this is what is, dating for the single man in 2026. Now, I don't want you to sort of feel sad about this, Mark, okay? Because
Okay, I won't.
this has a happy ending.
Hey, I just wanted to say, really beautiful, and I'd love to take you to dinner sometime.
No thanks.
Okay.
That's it? You're not gonna try to convince me?
But you said no.
Yeah, but no can mean yes.
If I want to play games, I got a Nintendo at home. So, you're good. Thank you. Have a great day.
But I love Nintendo.
So it was a happy ending. He gets away.
It's true, though, isn't it?
And this is
Wanna
how...
know, they want to
Go-
know, but really they want a yes. It's like, what?
Yes, but no, but yet, but no, but yeah, but no, but... All right, and go on, what were you going to say?
No, I'm saying just say yes.
Just say yes. Or
Stop saying
straight
no,
off.
meaning Stop making us work for it. We're not mind readers.
Well, here's somebody that works for nothing. Check this out.
The price of gas is so bad. I went into a station and asked the clerk for $5 worth of gas. He farted and gave me a receipt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, to be fair, you don't get much for a $5 these days, do you?
You get hardly anything, hardly anything. And just to keep up with our friends in China, okay? Also, our friends in Canada, if you're listening out there, say hello, hello, hello. And to our friends in that faraway place called Wigan.
Have they decided what the bloody place is called yet? Is it
Wigan?
Aston? Is it Aston in Makerfield? Is it Makerfield? I suppose it's a bit like our constituency,
Or is
isn't
it, according to Talk TV, Makerfield?
Yeah, even the ones on talk were taking the piss out of him for that the other day.
Well, it is right, okay? But listen, okay? We can't go by when we give an introduction without showing this, okay? Right? Now, talk about protecting women and children. Rupert Lowe, what is he up to here? Tell me.
Well, I think maybe he's took a leaf out the Donald Trump playbook, hasn't he? Because he's got there's something going on in Parliament about his inquiry, I think, and they've all been invited, every single MP. So I think he's come out and said something controversial, which he probably knows that the grooming gang's probably not quite the same as, 6 million, however many were killed. It's grim. It's probably not quite the same, but you can see what he's doing because now everyone's doing what? Talking about it. It's that thing that happened last night in Sweden again, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So he's making people listen, and he won't back down, and he won't apologise. Why should he?
Well, I passed a
His opinion,
comment in the description to say, look, I don't know how much more people can take about what goes on. I mean, I like to have a laugh, to try and take your mind off it, just, a little bit of respite. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it is bad what's going on out there. And there is... Go on.
It is. What's worse? So Rupert Lowe saying that, right? Or, I don't know, Hamza Yusuf going about everyone being white. Or recently he's saying the likes of America and Tommy Robinson are going to take us back to the dark ages. And Keir Starmer and his government basically calling us all far right. Is it as bad as any of that? Is it as bad as just wanting to just have open borders and literally erasing the population of a country? Is it as bad as the immigration extremists? What about the climate extremists? We will destroy everybody to save the planet. I think all that's worse than what he said. It's his opinion.
Well,
but he's just playing that game, isn't he? Where listen to me, everyone, and it's worked.
I think people are waking up. They are waking up, and I think there are problems coming the way, and I think the government are starting to prepare for it because they know that change is coming. And I think Makerfield is going to be quite an important by-election. I think it's going to be a turning point either way in what goes on. I mean, if you think about it, okay.
Just one more comment on this.
Yeah, go on.
We're moving on. So why again is a Jewish group deeply offended.
Yeah.
In what way? Do they see it as playing down the Holocaust? Because I don't think he was doing that. He was probably actually trying to make what's happened to our girls sound a lot worse than it. I mean, it's bad.
It is bad. I mean, my
some of them
God,
look
if you read the tweet and the things that it's gone.
Let's look at it this way. So say no one was stopping these gangs at all. So we've had girls murdered. They've been gang raped, tortured. Some of them
They've been raped by dogs as well.
Hundreds of men. Some of them have been murdered. There's been animals. Right. So imagine no one was calling them out, or there was no police or nothing like that. Right. And I don't know. The gang rapists were in charge of the country, like the National Socialists.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it'd be worse then, John?
Oh.
Do you reckon there'd just be 6 million of us dead? Do you reckon? Or do you reckon pretty much everyone would be gone if they were in charge? If you have these extremists in power in this country, mate, it'll be a lot worse.
Yes, indeed. I think what they're not quite realizing is that the mood of the people of this country, I have to say, my view is that they're backing the hardline approach that Rupert Lowe takes on certain subjects. And when I say hardline, I mean the same kind of, Enoch Powell type of approach, where he warned everybody about immigration. He warned everybody. And, Margaret Thatcher had a great deal of admiration for the guy. She really did.
He was a clever guy, John. He knew his stuff.
He was, yeah.
But it's only now they just use his name as a stick to beat people with. And when you're going to go 50 years in the future, and whose name are they going to be using to beat people with again then? It's going to be Tommy's, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they'll have to find a new bogeyman in the next 20 or 30 years so they can beat people with that stick in about another 50 years after that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just going to go on. And they're still beating people with the Hitler stick.
Yeah.
It's nearly been, it's like about nearly 100 years. Will you just shut up?
Well, here's this is a view that I share with Nigel Evans, and Nigel Evans did shape it quite nicely. So have a listen to what he's got to say here.
Well, I'm at Downing Street, and I've got to say I just bumped into a mate of mine, Madsen Peary, who said, "Tell me, Nigel, who's going to win the Makerfield by-election?" And I said, I really don't know, because even though so much is riding on this particular by-election, like more than most by-elections, and I fought two in my time. Let's say Burnham does win, when we know that later that night what we're going to do is have a conversation between the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister in waiting. It's going to be a little bit like the victim chatting to the hitman, and the conversation is, how's the hit going to take place? Let's say that Reform wins. Then, of course, what you're going to do is you're going to have Starmer staying in Downing Street. All the polls indicate that if Streeting took on Starmer, then Starmer's going to win. It's absolutely fascinating. As I say, I fought two by-elections myself, and I've never seen anything quite like this. And so all we know is that those of us who think that it's time for the man who lives behind the gates there, time to go, it's going to be the people of Makerfield who are going to make that decision.
Well, think about it now. Right? Now, I hold those views, but you see, he is not taking into account Restore, who are also fielding a candidate there.
If I was to go by just what I'm hearing from people campaigning on both sides on social media, forget the polls because they're all fake. I've got a feeling that Restore have got a good chance. But I'm going to say, possibly on this occasion, some people who probably want to vote Restore might do that thing again where it's like, well, we've got to vote for Reform because otherwise you're going to let Labour in.
Correct.
I don't normally make predictions, but how about Reform win and Restore second, or the other way around would be better, and Labour third, because not really hearing anyone. People who are campaigning saying they're not seeing Labour.
Yeah.
Would you carry on if you were knocking on people's doors and they were like, "Go away, you hate your Starmer's a..."
Especially now, over all the things that are happening. I mean, especially, they're allowing things to go on where money is being wasted, just dripping through their, the Treasury's fingers.
I mean, we do know there's going to be pockets, there's going to be wards in that area that'll probably always vote red.
Yeah.
But from just what I'm hearing on the ground, some of the internal polling from the likes of Restoring people are saying it's similar to Great Yarmouth.
All right. Okay.
I tell you what, do you know what? If Restore can just put in a good showing,
Yeah.
get a decent percentage of the vote, that puts them on the map, John. And
I
that'll
would
be
say-
that'll be a massive achievement, because this will be the first proper election for them, as in like an MP.
Absolutely.
Election, won't it?
If they were able to get 5% of the vote and get their money back, that would be a win.
I think they're going to get way more than that, you know.
I know, but I'm saying as a a base minimum, that's what I would consider to be a win.
I reckon. I don't know. I mean, I've had a couple of 15% before, mate. If they could get 20, 25, that's a real achievement.
Yeah.
There's a chance they could win this.
Well,
it all depends again on, because look, a lot of people who want to vote Reform also want to vote Restore. I know this for a fact to speak to them. Some of them are still thinking, "Oh, is it too soon for Restore? Maybe we should vote for Reform to keep Burnham out." But again, this is what I'm saying. It's vote for Reform to keep Starmer out, right? But then you're going to vote Reform in Makerfield and give it to Burnham, which keeps Starmer out. I don't understand. It'll keep Starmer in, sorry.
Yeah.
So you can vote for them nationally, it'll keep them out, but vote for them in Makerfield, and it'll... Because if Burnham loses, then Starmer stays in. So I don't understand what they... I don't really think it's as important as people think, this election, mate.
I don't know. I think it is.
Mate, if they have a leadership election, it's going to tear them to shreds. They're going to be ripping each other new backsides left, right, and centre, mate, aren't they? And then someone's not going to be happy with Burnham, and it's going to be the Conservatives all over again with how many leaders before the next election. Honestly, they're probably best off just leaving Starmer in and trying to turn it around. But that's not going to happen either. So I don't think Burnham's going to help them, do you?
Well,
really,
I wouldn't like to see anybody ripping a new hole.
So yeah, Reform needs to make up the mind. Is it vote Reform, keep Starmer out, or vote keep him in? Which one is it?
Well, here's a bit of a distraction for you.
Nicola, can you understand why? Sorry,
filming in here. Sorry.
Nicola, can you understand why some people don't believe you when you said that? Nicola, why won't you answer questions from the media in relation to your husband?
Yeah, bro.
It is one of Scotland's biggest political scandals. The SNP's former chief executive, Peter Murrell, who admits stealing £400,000 of party cash to buy things like a motorhome and salt and pepper grinders. And his estranged wife, Nicola Sturgeon, who was cleared in the same police investigation and now faces claims she shut down scrutiny when she was SNP leader. And why are we here in this village in West Ireland? Well, Sturgeon is on a book tour, and this was her first public appearance since her ex admitted embezzling the money. She said she was completely unaware of the...
Completely unaware?
I reckon he took way more money than that, because, I mean, they must have been out for some fancy meals, because wee Jimmy Cranky's not that wee anymore, is she?
No.
Sorry, being mean. Sodden, they call us racist, so get lost.
Yeah. There's no two ways about it. As we've explained before, we've been around the block and we've seen certain things.
What did she say? What was that then? I'm not the first or the last woman to be betrayed or something.
That's right. So that's a distraction.
Right. She's throwing him under the bus, is she? And so never benefited. So you're telling me, like we said the other day, she never benefited from any of that money. And if she did, she didn't realise it at all. 125 grand, what was it? Caravans, camper, motorhomes, whatever, just popping up. Never asked him where the money came from.
No.
Hang on a minute. How did you afford that? Because, I mean, we've never bought one of them before. And what are these salt things that cost? What? And you're telling me that's all they had? Their house would have been lush, wouldn't it? Would have been a plush little house with all this fancy stuff in it.
Thank you for taking the time to buy me a really expensive watch. But where did you get it? It was a good story by Sky. Okay. Apparently, it's predicted that a lot of these people are not going to be around, like Sky and other ITN and people they're not going to be around in the next 5 years.
No.
Okay?
Ta-da. What's the
AI
point?
are predicting an awful lot. What are they going to do? They can't stop us. Can they?
Probably. Eventually. But I mean...
They'll block us.
The only reason people still watch Sky is when we use them for little clips to either rinse them or like like a broken clock. They've got to be right like once or twice a day.
No, the truth is they've got some good reporters there. Okay. They get nicknames like Sly News and the BBC, the British Bullshit Corporation, and all those, those different things. But there are some decent journalists there, and I think that they do a good job. It's just the direction and the editorial, points that are being pushed that just don't work, and the people see through it. And it's the woke people in charge that cause the problems for them. I mean, our local reporter around here, what's his name, Phil McCann? Okay. He's quite a decent bloke. He'll give people a fair, crack at the whip.
He's still a shill for the BBC, isn't he?
I bet you Hugh Edwards would give somebody a fair crack at the whip.
Leave it, Mark. Leave it.
Anyway, okay, now, this is the truth of life in the UK. Now, this I found quite fascinating.
Over your lifetime, you will hand approximately 70% of everything that you earn to the state.
Dolan.
Not 30, not 40, 70. Income tax on your earnings, national insurance on top of that, VAT on almost everything you buy, fuel duty every time you fill your car, council tax every month whether you earn or not, stamp duty when you buy a home with the money that has already been taxed, capital gains tax if any investment grows, and when you die, inheritance tax on everything that remains. Everything that you already paid tax on, taxed again. 70%.
I'm squirting lemon juice in my eye.
Work gone. And almost everyone that I know believes that money funds things like the NHS, the schools, the roads, the things that we all use and need. So I want to show you something, because the actual breakdown of where UK government spending goes is not what most people have ever been told.
No, it's not.
The single largest item in the government budget is not healthcare. It is debt interest. Over £100 billion a year and rising, paid directly to the banks and financial institutions that hold government debt.
Bonds.
Not to hospitals, not to teachers, to creditors. Every single year, more than the entire school's budget. After that comes the welfare system, which exists in significant part because the same extraction left millions of working people unable to cover the basic cost of living without support.
Yeah.
The system creates the poverty that it then administers, and administering it costs more billions. Then defence, tens of billions directed to weapons manufacturers and military contracts, most of which the majority of people never voted for and many actively oppose.
Lefty, but she's telling the truth.
The NHS does receive funding, but embedded within that figure are the PFI repayments. The private finance initiative deals signed in the 90s and the 2000s that handed the building and the running of hospitals to private corporations in exchange for decades of payments at enormous profit margins. The NHS pays rent on its own hospitals to private companies funded by your taxes, and it will do so for decades more. So when someone says, but who would pay for the hospitals? I want to ask how much of what you are currently paying actually reaches a hospital. and how much of it reaches a bank.
Well, there you go. Now, if that doesn't depress you, I don't know what would. But that's life in this country. It's not, you're just taxed to death. And that's a fact. To death. You're taxed to death and beyond. There has to be a change in this country. And where does the money go? Where does it go? It's actually all traveling upwards. And once people begin to understand the mechanics of that and the way that it happens and who's getting all the money, I'm telling you, Mark, there's going to be more aggravation because they're just going to say no. Now, I get this feeling that, people like Rupert Lowe, they want to actually decentralize power and give it more to the people. The people that are in want control over the people. And they're just suppressing them more and more and more. I mean, what is the way out? I see people really moaning about it. And I've got a couple of examples. Go ahead.
But people are making money off our debt as well.
Yes.
It's terrible, mate. People are buying the bonds. And you're just like, Jesus, we've got to pay all this. Well, that's taking the piss, that, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it? Oh, so the rich get richer off our debt. I tell you, it's time to go back to the gold standard and stop all this loaning this money to this man.
We got no gold, though, because Gordon Brown sold it all.
Got to think of another way of doing this, haven't we, though, mate? Because the taxpayer's just getting fleeced. Like the taxpayer can afford to do that. Because they know, don't they? You're safe as houses with government bond. You're always getting that money because of taxes.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
I suppose, isn't it?
When people see these people, who become quite famous, they don't quite realize, that they are normal and they speak normally and they get aggravated in the same way that we do. Here's Alex Phillips, and I just like,
what you having a meltdown over now, mate?
Oh, well.
We all racist vanity project.
Well, you have to have a listen.
Rather than people.
Thanks is to be name called, have my car bashed in, groped, mugged, outpriced from the housing market. Fuck off. That's how I feel. That's how a lot of people out there are feeling, which is why people are leaving. And 5 years, even 2 years ago, it wasn't this bad. When I turned around 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and said about, can
this fucking country get any worse? Cost of living crisis, bills through the roof, can't feed your fucking kids properly, and the government want to slap a fucking tourist tax on a UK holiday. I just looked at 2 nights in London, £1,840. Then you want to put another £92 on for a fucking weekend break. We pay income tax, council tax, VAT, road tax, national insurance. Now
I feel like
tax us to take a
no
bloody
income
break.
tax, no
You want to tax
VAT.
on the only thing that we have to keep us fucking sane. This government hates working class people. They want us to work till we drop. We never rest, never enjoy a fucking thing. Fuck this country. Fuck this tax. When does this blood sucking actually end? Too loud to be ignored. Hit follow. More chaos.
Vote these bastards out. Or it's never going to... People like the country. No, it's not the country.
Country, it's these people.
The dickheads we've all allowed to run it for 20, 30, 40 years, probably even further back than that. Look, they've got us where they want us now, mates. What were we talking about in the last podcast? Foreign holidays.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, have you seen the price of them? Someone's telling me $6,000 to take the family away for a couple of weeks. $6,000. And I'm like, well, tell you what, all say no. Oh, great. Were they listening? Is this something they've brought in, or is this something they're thinking of bringing in?
Will she still go to London? Yes, they do have tourist taxes in this country.
Fucking joke, mate. Maybe for people who come from another country, perhaps. No, not even then. That's not fair either. But what do they want us to do now? Not go abroad, not holiday this country, just sit in your 15-minute cities. Is that it now? Hey, don't want to pollute the planet, do we, by driving to fucking, I don't know, Scarborough to go to the beach? Oh, God, no, tax them. And that's what it'll be, mate. It's all to make money for this bunch of frauds, to waste it on all crap, or it'll be something to do with the environment.
Or to send it out of the country, or to send it to some very clever people who know how to manipulate the bond markets. You know, it is gonna go up like a bonfire. It literally is. You know, the kindling is there. You can see it. You can see the pure frustration on her face. And she's not alone.
She's not, John, but she needs to turn it into constructive frustration and stop the ranting now on air and find a better way of expressing what you've got to say and get involved in what you're doing.
Actually, no, I quite like what she said.
Get involved.
Fuck them.
I like what she
fuck,
said, but if she
fuck the country. Yeah,
no, John, but sitting in your car saying F this and F that doesn't fix nothing.
No, I know. It's the vote. It's the vote.
Don't blame the country. It's the people running the country. And the people pulling the strings of the people running the country, which is why we need someone to come in and go, right, establishment, we're wiping you out. Oh, guess what we have now? And they're just being barraged from each side. Racists, far right, blah, 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 etc., etc. My people on their own side, because they know there's only one party with one leader who is saying, don't care. We're going to put you all in jail. That's that. We're going to shake the whole system up. And they're going to come for him hard. He's doing what Trump did.
Yeah.
Done the same. We're going to put you all in prison. Although he's failed. I believe he's trying a bit harder this time, but he's going to have to get a move on.
Well, here's we've got one slant, you know, from the US, and this is one angry man in the US. And he's just an ordinary guy, and he's angry because he's fed up of people asking for reparations.
I'm going to say the shit, and I don't give a fuck who cries in the comments. It's about to get real. I'm done apologizing for being white. I didn't own slaves. I didn't write Jim Crow. I didn't redline shit. I was born in the 1980s to a middle-class family that had to work for everything. I worked 50-plus hours a week, pay my taxes, and I'm still told I'm the villain. Every day it's check your white privilege, do a land acknowledgement, post the black square, feel guilty for something I had zero to do with. No fucking way. My great-grandparents came off a boat from Germany with nothing. I've got black people in my family tree, and nobody in my bloodline ever owned a slave. You want a fucking apology? Dig up the dead. You want money? Call Congress, or better yet, fucking work for it like everybody else has to. I'm not your emotional punching bag, and I'm sure as hell not your ATM because my skin is lighter than yours. And let's be real, people who never pick cotton want a check from people who never owned a plantation. That's not justice, that's a shakedown. And these sniveling liberal white apologists crying online for sins they didn't commit, you're not brave, you're a fucking embarrassment. You apologize when you fuck up, not for history you weren't alive for. I'm sick of being told it's a crime to be a straight white man in this country. I go out of my way to treat people with respect until they give me a reason not to. I'm done bending the knee. I'm done whispering. I'm done disappearing into the background so you fucking feel comfortable. I'm picking my side. I'm not guilty. I'm not sorry. I never was. You can fucking stay mad. If you're done apologizing too, drop a comment below.
He's right, John.
Why
is it right? Why is it Britain and America mostly who get the grief for this, for being colonizers and stuff?
Because we're too fucking soft. That's why.
Yeah,
but not anymore.
There's plenty of other countries in Europe that did it. But let me just remind everyone, there was approximately, well, if you count ISIS, 14, but there was 13 Islamic caliphates or empires, right, historically, yeah?
Yeah.
All of them participated in violent conquest, right? They started slavery way before the West did.
Yeah.
If you wondered why there's no communities in their countries with slave ancestry, because they were castrated, right? They took everything from the people they fought in battle, even their wives and daughters as sex slaves. The British spent a lot of money and lost a lot of lives trying to stop slavery.
And they conquered it.
No, the Umayyad, if you say that right, caliphate conquered from North Africa to Spain. The Ottomans, throughout centuries, just rampaged and campaigned military campaigns through the Middle East, Europe, North Africa. And now Muslims are literally migrating to the Western countries en masse, in fact, all over the world, committing jihad, bringing their foreign conflicts with them. And we get grief for the colonization. Fuck off. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox now, John, but that fucking pisses me off, mate.
Well, when
like French, but it's Friday.
When they talk about Trump and all the rest of the stuff that's going on. What they're not seeing are the things that are happening in the background. Now, here's a very observant lady, okay, and she's spotted things because she obviously plays, she dabbles in shares. Here you go.
I feel his pain anyway. It's pissing me off, that and all. Sorry for a rant, but,
Well, hold on. I'm just going to,
I might have got to go out, fill your gap. It might have got a bit sweary, but I don't care. Everyone's fuming.
Oh, they've had
You know
enough.
what I mean? I could probably swear a lot more, but YouTube doesn't like it. Why is everyone not being able to show like violence on YouTube? Is it they're all saying YouTube's stopping it, but are they? Or is it this stupid online safety act? Because if someone's being assaulted in the street, just walking around their own town by migrants and things like that, or on nights out, or pickpockets, or robbing people, then they end up in physical confrontation. I think the people need to be seeing this. It doesn't mean you're promoting it. It doesn't mean you're going to go out and start punching pickpockets.
No, I agree.
But if the police got their ass and fixed some of this stuff, maybe we wouldn't need to keep showing it online. Do you know what I mean? So, what are they going to censor next?
Well, I can't locate, that video. Okay, but yes, it is. Yes, I can. I can put it on. Yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, I don't know why it wouldn't show up before, but I'm just going to go straight to it now and just say it, right, and then I'll bring it on.
For you, isn't it?
Okay, file, desktop.
We need to hire it. We hire a tacky guy so we don't have to do this ourselves. Anyone interested in doing it for free? I can buy you a pint. Then we can concentrate on going off on a rant, can't we?
So I just want to show you guys something. I thought I'd just have a look and see what happened on Tuesday with oil. I don't trade oil or anything like that, but I can show you on my charts what stuff looks like. So just bear with me 1 second. Right.
There you go.
Hang on. I've got a trade just kicking off in a minute, maybe. So, oil, to begin with. Right, you can see this is Tuesday. It's on the 4-hour chart. Absolutely plummeted. The price plummeted.
Look at the price. It's plummeted.
Let's have a look at the USD charts.
I know, mate.
Oil.
Look where it came from.
Absolutely plummeted. Let's have a look at UK oil. Absolutely same thing. Look, plummeted. Prices plummeted.
Daily or a
monthly. Floor again. So
this is this week.
I know, John, but stop.
When do you
go
think
back
we're going to see the benefit of it, hey? So when the oil price goes up, they put the petrol prices up literally overnight and then incrementally every single day so they can just pillage the shit out of us and make themselves more billions and billions and billions. And then when the price drops like this and everything goes back to normal, how long do you think it is until we see it at the pumps? It's just an absolute fucking joke. I mean, you've got the Irish truckers at the minute are doing blockades and protests on the motorways and stuff. What are we doing over here? The only way to change what these people do is for us to vote with your feet and vote with your wallet. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Get your heads out your arse.
Which is what you were saying, Mark.
Fuck's sake, seriously.
You've got a point with some things and not with others.
Digital IDs locked down in George Orwell's 1984. It's coming quickly, guys, if you don't wake up to this shit.
Let's make some sense of it. I understand where you're coming from because you say, okay, if you get a spike in the prices, as soon as there is a spike in the price, the fucking prices of everything go up straight away. But when there's a drop, they're quick enough to put it up. But when there's a drop, right, they don't take that into consideration. They keep the price right up.
Do you know why, mate? She's on a 4-hour chart. So if you looked at her chart, right, it's gone back down to where it was a few days ago. If you're on a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15, 20, you're on their small chart, mate. It fluctuates up and down all the time. Yeah?
Okay.
So, and on her chart, that's probably a matter of pence, John. So, do you think they're going to change the price of petrol?
They can make predictions.
No. One thing they'll do off this is make money. Because they'll know it's going right.
Of course they're making money.
So they know when it's going to go up and down, but you can't go off a 4-hour chart like that and go,
all right,
it's dropped that. If you
here's
look at
my
a chart,
point.
It went back down to where it was a few days ago, mate. And then look at a chart in a few more days. If it's on the way up over the whole on a daily, weekly, monthly chart, it'll go back up, mate. So you can't take
here's
from them small.
Okay,
charts.
Here's my point. Okay, we did a story about Waitrose having LCD price tags on everything so that they could actually change the prices of different products at different times of the day. All right? Now, I see something it's so similar, but it's even fucking quicker. You know, I mean, some of these people like to actually be situated so close, you know, to the market buildings so that, you know, the speed at which they can react, you know, even a millisecond counts with these people. And, you know, when they make these changes and, you know, if they see it going up, bang, the price goes up. And it doesn't matter. But you don't see that price immediately come down. It goes up, and boy, does it go up. And, you know, where is it? Where do you see the prices coming down when you get reactions like that? So, yeah, I get it. But the speed at which they increase the prices is not reflected when the costs go down. That speed is so slow, it's not funny. So as far as I'm concerned, and any of the supermarkets that are looking to take, you know, like that kind of point of view, like Waitrose is doing, where they start to fluctuate the prices during the day.
I know, but you could do the same with gold. Go, oh my God, gold's dropped. It's hit rock bottom. No, it hasn't. It's been going up over time for eternity. Yeah. It's just gone down a little bit, and on the overall chart, it's still going up, so it will go back up again. So you've got to try and buy on your dips.
Okay.
And sell on your. Go on. I thought you were going to say something then.
No, I was waiting for you. I was just, but before you do,
I mean, before it drops, you got to sell it and buy it before you think it's going up. But they don't know what's going to happen by just watching a 4-hour chart. Doesn't tell you nothing, I'm afraid.
No, I know.
It'll tell you what the pattern overall. So she didn't show us the whole chart. It could be on the way up. What was it? Oil. I'll have a look later.
Okay.
The price will be going up.
Yeah. Let's move on, because we're going to go on to our main story of the evening. And are illegals entitled to benefits?
They shouldn't be.
Well, it's a quick one for you.
I think it's a perverse irony that when you come into this country with a legal status, you're actually prioritised over the people who have worked here, fought for the country, and contributed to this country. I think it's manifestly unfair. So you have a situation, you come in illegally, and you're put up in a 4-star hotel, you're provided with phone, spending money, food, private medical care, and yet you're somebody who's fought for the country and you need treatment for your mental health disorders, and you're sitting on the street, sleeping on the street. It's just chaotic. In my view, you come into this country, if you're illegal, if you destroy your identity, you're locked up, you're incarcerated in a prison-type place with literally no privileges at all, and your claim is processed very quickly, within a few months, and a decision is made. Because we need to prioritise the people who live here, not the people who come here because we're so generous.
Here we go, guys. Here's the handover.
And this is how it's happening. This is Danny Tomo.
There is... what are we paying them for? We're paying them to bring them here. Because that's what's happening. Look, the French are taking the boat back. Over the last few months, I've dedicated time, as have many others, to help bring pressure where it's really needed. You will see the truth in the English Channel. The orchestration is happening from every level, be it from the French side, be it from the British side, be it from the NGOs, the organisations, or those that fund them. What you're about to see is the handover directly in the English Channel. Firstly, I'd like to thank the British public for helping me to get the boat. Without you, none of this would have been possible. Everything that we've done has been done as a team, and I'd like to thank everyone. The British authorities, who are saying that they are doing something to stop this, when on the other hand, they are actively funding it.
This is the straight truth about what's going on, and you just sit back and you just go, what the hell are we doing, and why are we doing it? Because these are the people that we're bringing into the country that, you know, literally are destroying us. They are. There's no two ways about it. There are too many of them. Too many of them.
I think we need to change our language a little bit. I think we need to say they, not we, because we're not doing it for the start. Because we always say, what are we doing here? And no, what are they doing to us?
Yeah.
Just so we can actually, because language actually matters, we've noticed with the woke block. Because they've had one over us by just manipulating language and stealing words and changing them. I think they should be called criminal migrants, because I think they might have a point. A person isn't illegal, it's the act they've committed is illegal. So therefore, they are criminal migrants, because the first act they've done when coming to this country is to break the law. We've got laws that we say, like I think it's the 1971 Immigration Act. There was another one put through by the Conservatives before they got kicked out. We've got laws to say that you cannot come here.
They're just not enforcing them.
Come. So no, they're not. And the excuse is the human rights bollocks and all that. No, just go to the. Okay, let's say we all turned up to Glastonbury, right, with no tickets, right?
Yeah.
And climbed over the fence. What would happen? What would happen?
Get booted out.
The security would drag you out and throw you back and take you back to where you came from, which isn't in Glastonbury, is it?
No.
Just a little example. I know it's not exactly the same, but it's all right for them, swallow sweaty lefties there to moan about you. I mean,
and
I've
these
seen people
NGOs, who are making money out of it, because they're funded, by people like Soros and people like that. I mean, it's now coming to a head. People are beginning to realize, from the work of people like, Danny Tomo and Tommy Robinson, it's now, I mean, I've got a comment from him on Henry Nowak, right, to kick us into Henry's thing. But, why are we bringing these people in? Why? We should be booting the parliamentarians out that are actually enabling this.
This is it. I think we need to stop now going, oh, but why are they doing it? We know they're doing it. They're doing it on purpose. So rather than sitting in your car like the woman having a rant, get off your arse.
Yeah.
Go and find a political party that you believe will stop these people from coming, will kick people out to try and reverse some of this stuff. Go and look at them. Mate, I'm not going to tell people who to vote for.
No.
Well, all right, I'm going to please.
No, don't vote for the Greens. I'm saying
don't vote for the same people who've caused this shit in the first place. It's time everyone got off their arses. Look, not everyone's into politics. I can think of 1,000,001 things I could be doing now.
They're getting more and more aware, though.
Well, we're going to have to. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in your car in 20 years saying this stuff, and you're not going to be allowed to say the stuff.
Yeah.
So get off your arses. Stop the ranting now. Get off the internet. Yeah, it's good for networking and getting your message out there, but too many people are stuck on there for too long with too much to say. To people who are actually trying to fix things, too many people got too much to say online who aren't doing shit. Please get active. Doesn't mean you have to go and run a branch or stand as MP, but at least spread the word. Find a local branch of a party that want to put this stuff to bed and you think are going to change things, and go and help them a little bit. It's nothing. What's walking around putting a few leaflets out?
Yeah.
You might get the taste for it. You might think it's not for you, but at least you've tried, and then you can hold your head up and say, I've done something to try and fix this mess. Because unfortunately,
the biggest thing they can do is vote. The biggest thing they can do is vote.
Obviously, if you're going to get involved in politics, then you're going to vote.
Vote.
Aren't you? But
get out and vote. Okay.
And get the people who don't vote to vote.
Yeah.
Look, I stood in an election once, John, and I got 15% of the vote, and the turnout was only just over 20%. So therefore, in that ward, there's another 80% of the vote to fight for.
Yeah.
Mate, if I had a tuck.
Well, that's how.
Work it out. But if I could take a chunk, someone could take a chunk of that vote in that area, you'd probably get Labour out.
Labour work on very, very small percentages. That's how they get in.
Yeah.
And if anybody thinks that the majority that Labour got was based on, a massive, massive amount of votes, no, it was a small percentage of votes. Okay, simple as that. Now, here's my view, and it's the view of one of your favourite people. Here you go.
The Labour Party must now be recognised as a deeply sinister and dangerous organisation, a party which takes the side of any foreign minority or nation except its own. The Labour Party despises Britain, its culture, its history, and its people. What the party has now done is to embed the primacy of its Islamic voting bloc into law by resurrecting blasphemy laws, but for one religion only. In so doing, it has formalized the Islamo-leftist pact now reshaping the country. This is incredibly serious. If you want to know the path on which we are headed and that we are bequeathing to our children, look at Lebanon, look at the Balkans, and above all, look at Iran. Do not say you were not warned.
There you go. Look at Iran. I mean, that's it. Okay?
I mean, they say history repeats itself, but if it doesn't, it definitely gives you some pointers on where not to go wrong.
Indeed, indeed. Well, let's go straight on. Here's Tommy on Henry Nowak. Okay, and this is our story of the evening. And what a senseless murder this was. Senseless.
Now, if this is true, what this is the police searching for something there was no evidence of, trying to find something to justify their, not just their failure, but after Stephen Lawrence murder, there was a investigation into the Metropolitan Police Force that found institutional racism. There has to be an investigation because there is institutional racism against whites happening across the UK by every police force, every government, every council. It's diversity, it's killing us. Literally, it's killed Henry. It killed him. They didn't, as soon as the accusation of racism come out, they didn't give a shit if he'd been stabbed. He's getting handcuffed, he's the criminal.
Yeah.
And straight away the brown person is the victim because there's an accusation of racism. When in reality, there was no racism. There was just a savage, brutal murder in what was probably a racist murder against a white victim. That's what's happened. So there now, it's great. There's a guilty verdict against this scumbag. It's great. But there needs to be accountability by the police. The police officers need to be prosecuted that handcuffed him and laughed.
Absolutely.
And didn't investigate, even though there were the claims, when there were other witnesses. Even though that. Straight away, the accusation of racism, that's the power it took. It's the same mentality that resulted in white girls getting raped across the UK and the police doing nothing. That same institutional racism and the diversity and the common purpose that has been put into the police force, into council, into government, into every single institution, in order to get them to search, like the same as Prevent right now. 90% of their caseload is searching for little white boys who have said something bad about Islam.
Yeah,
rather
absolutely.
Than the 84% of
and in schools
that are committed by Muslims. So their caseload should be 84% Muslims. But they're not, because they're always trying to search for the big white racist in the fucking room when he's not there. So yeah, it's not good enough. I'm going to share you now that what someone close to the family has said to me, if it's true. But regardless if it's true, we know what's come out in this case. There needs to be an investigation into police. They need to be prosecuted. They need to be imprisoned. They need to lose their pensions, not just leave the fucking force after letting the white boy handcuffing him so he died. No. They need to be brought to justice.
Yeah.
That's what they need to be.
Now, here's the actual, report on the court case here now.
Well, here at Southampton Crown Court, the jury has just found Vikram Digwa guilty of murdering 18-year-old Henry Nowak. Digwa was also found guilty of carrying a knife in public. His mother, who was on trial for assisting the defendant by removing a weapon from the scene, was also found guilty. The weapon was used to stab Nowak 5 times. Is a kirpan, a religious knife carried by initiated Sikhs as a mandatory article of faith.
So let's look at some of the details. He was stabbed with an 8-inch religious artifact.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, the Sikhs are a sort of warrior sect against Islam. And
yes.
So being armed at all times was an article of faith. And so
they're required to grow their hair, they're required to keep a comb, they're required to wear a turban, and to always carry a knife. There's a 5th thing which I forgot, but this is sort of the religious requirement. They believe that they're required to carry a knife with them at all times.
And so for religious exemption reasons, Sikhs can be armed, but you as an Englishman can't.
It's allowed under the law to the extent that there are special exemptions for the Sikh from the law that let them carry it. Yeah. So the Criminal Justice Act and the Offensive Weapons Act, they both have exemptions for Sikhs.
Yes. It's literally a racial privilege.
It is literally a racial privilege. There's no...
There you go. Now, why is it? Why the fuck? Are we so stupid in this fucking country to allow that to be the case? So that guy is allowed to carry a knife. That's what killed Henry Nowak. That facility to carry that knife because of that man's religious beliefs. And they're supposed to protect against Islam?
I heard it was actually it wasn't the knife they're allowed to use. I think I heard he had 2 knives on him, and it was a bigger one that he had that he shouldn't have had. That he actually stabbed him with. But I mean, it's doesn't really matter, does it? When, like we said last time, how come by our Bill of Rights the Protestants are the ones who are allowed to be armed, yet now we've been stripped of that and people can walk around? Because if we look at this now, so everyday carry, most Sikhs wear a small blunt kirpan, which is 3 to 6 inches in length. That's still big knife, that's 6 inches.
I know.
Which is allowed to be discreetly worn, but a ceremonial blade can be up to 12 inches or longer. And I think that's the one he used. But the frustrating thing here is, as well, is you're not going to hear this lad's name in 20 or 30 years. Your kids are in high school now, and all they're hearing is Anthony Walker, who was murdered in Liverpool by, I think, Joey Barton's brother.
Yeah.
Right? The lads who've done that are scumbags, right? Okay. But that was like over 20 years ago, and that's the only example they've got to drill our kids not to be inherently racist. Why don't we ever hear Chris Donald? Why don't we really hear Lee Rigby? What about here? Here's one for you, John. The soldier who got stabbed by the barracks, remember? I don't think he died, but he got absolutely multiple knives. What's his name, mate? I can't remember it either, bro. So you've got no chance, have we? Why is it all that? Why is it non-stop rammed down our throats with this woke shit, even though it's having terrible consequences, like what Tommy just said, the rape gangs, now someone's people are dying from this woke bollocks. Why does everyone have to be anti-racist? Why is there an obsession? They never used to be.
Because people are in positions, in jobs, that are ramming it down everybody's throats. You know, you must do this. Like that guy in America. Yeah, he's, coming down. Fuck it. Right? If it comes down to life or death, that kid is the same age as my son. Okay? If I thought for 1 minute, and I wouldn't give a shit whether he was Sikh, Islamic, Muslim, I wouldn't give a shit. Right? If I got hold of that guy, okay, I wouldn't be waiting for some fucking judge to let people off. Do
you know what, John? So what if the kid was racist? Look, I'm not condoning it.
He wasn't.
Why do I have to...
He wasn't.
No. Listen to what I'm going to say. If he was racist, so fucking what? Does he deserve to be stabbed to death for that, John? Because when we were growing up, I didn't hear a mad lot of discrimination on skin colour. I grew up with people who didn't look like me. And it wasn't really a massive issue. Was it? So why now? Has it got to be? Why is it worse than rape? Because mass rape and torture has just been pushed to the side for this. Yeah. Why is it not as bad as being stabbed in the street? This Equality Act has been rammed out. It's the duty in the Equality Act where it makes these people, schools, universities, the police, hospitals, they have to eliminate discrimination. But what if there isn't any? But they're looking for it 24/7. So as soon as someone's been racist, it's like, oh, no, you can't do that. You better bleed out on the fucking floor. Because people have been made to believe that everyone's literally Hitler, and Hitler was the worst person in the world. To be fair, he probably wasn't the worst person in history. There's probably people who've killed a lot more people than that. But
all right, let me interrupt you now and bring you a brave vicar in Southampton. Listen to what he's got to say about the police. I mean, every policeman in this country should hang their head in shame. It's a turning point. It really is a turning point in this country, and they've got to fucking wake up.
Before anyone gets on a fucking high horse, I wasn't fucking defending Hitler.
No.
I'm just saying that there's probably more people died at the hands of, definitely more people died at the hands of communism and Islam than did from National Socialism.
Well, you've only got to look at Joseph Stalin. Fucking hell, look at the people he killed, or Mao.
Mao, I know, but it's just, I know, but the lefties aren't going to use what they call what everyone thinks is a lefty to beat us with, are they? They're going to use people who they say were on the right, who were really socialists, who thought, I know, I can do my socialism in a totally different way, and it'll be all fun and games, and we'll have our utopia. Doesn't matter which way it goes, it ends in shit.
Okay, here's this brave vicar.
Anyway, sorry, that's another debate for another day. Go on.
There we go.
And what we are seeing is a politicised ideology that is systemically rife and infested our legal system, our political system, our education system, and our police system. When we have police cars with pride flags on it, which is a politicised movement, we know that the police, who are supposed to be impartial, are often anything but. They are driven by an ideology, a Marxist cultural Marxist ideology that is not right, that is not good, and it's against you, and we're seeing two-tier policing, we're seeing two-tier justice, two-tier politics, and the people of Britain have had enough of it, and we're getting tired of it. And what we saw last year when Henry Nowak died, stabbed, and was handcuffed because he was deemed a racist is utterly repugnant, reprehensible, and beyond excuse. And the fact today that the police came out and said on primetime TV, we apologise. We were lied to.
Yeah, but they're making excuses though as well, aren't
like
they?
a slap in the face. Let me tell you, what would happen if it was the other way round? This is what our Prime Minister would do. He would take the knee, like he did for George Floyd. But he hasn't taken the knee, hasn't said anything about this particular situation or this particular crime. This is an injustice. This is terrible. When I grew up, we looked to the police and we respected them. According to statistics, the police are now the most mistrusted and hated force in Britain, and it shouldn't be like that.
They are.
Well, when I was younger, I must have been way more ahead of the curve than I thought.
Safety is a right.
I want to apologise. I want to say that I am sorry that Henry couldn't be saved that night. I'm
Then
sorry
fucking
that
resign
he was handcuffed
and get your officers
and
to
arrested
resign.
in the moments before he lost consciousness. It's quite clear that officers
Look
didn't
at him. He's
understand
just
what had happened immediately. And that is some of the
He's an
context I would ask
accountant.
people to understand.
Trainee accountant.
There had been a delay from those who chose eventually to call them. There were lies from Henry's killer in that 999 phone call. Further lies from his killer as officers arrived on scene. And despite Henry telling officers he'd been stabbed, it took them some minutes to realise what had really happened. But within 3 minutes of that engagement with Henry, they were giving him first aid. They'd taken the handcuffs off and they were giving him first aid.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just, they have no credibility in my eyes. None whatsoever. Because they immediately took the line that here's an easy catch. This guy says he's been racially abused. Get this guy, white guy, easy target. Fuck you. We're not easy targets anymore. Nobody's gonna fucking just sit down and just take this shit anymore. I'm not. I'm really, really not. I've got no respect for these people. And we've got, I've got beefs with the police right now, and I'm being polite. It'll take me 2 seconds to find the way to put you under a misconduct in fucking public office. And if I can, I will. Okay?
Right. Imagine here, John, that the roles were reversed and the police turned up and it was the Sikh lad on the floor. And Henry Nowak there, and he said, the Sikh lad's been racist to me. What do you think would have happened?
Nothing.
So are you telling me, I mean, I know about situations, violent situations, when things go, you can't always get to the bottom of it straight away. But if you turn up to a situation where one boy's choking on his own blood,
he said it, I can't breathe.
And the other fellas stood there. If there was two police officers there, right, why can't one get hold of one of them and one go and check on the other lad and say, right, we need to evaluate what's gone on here. Someone on the floor, who looks like he's got a problem, and there's another guy stood up. So I think maybe you go and handcuff him, and I'll go and see if I need to handcuff him. And you would have quickly realised when you were over, there was a problem. Keep making these excuses that, oh, well, the doctors have said that he wouldn't have survived anyway. So that means we just brushed that under the carpet, do we? What if he could? Hang on, John. What if he could have survived? What if that 3 minutes was the most important time where they could have plugged the wound? They're all saying it was internal bleeding. So you're telling me he was stabbed with a knife, 4 times, and they saw not one speck of blood on him. It was all internal bleeding. How many times have you seen someone get repeatedly stabbed and you don't see any blood, John?
Nah, it's bullshit.
Fucking bollocks, mate.
Bollocks.
I want to see the fucking the post-mortem. I want to see all that. I want to see the body cam. I want to see it all. And by the way, that video Dan Wotton showing is meant to be his brother, not him. Apparently, Tommy said it's not the Sikh on the video that Lawrence Fox put out, I think, yesterday.
Got you.
Apparently it's his brother. He's standing there with a fucking big sword in the street, mate. So if it is him, there's your warning. And if it's not him, it's his brother.
You don't expect Sikhs.
Family, mate.
You do not expect Sikhs
Expect
right?
everybody, John. There's always dickheads in any group, mate. Expect it to happen. Especially, all right, so you're telling me if everyone was allowed to walk around with a knife, would there be more stabbings in this country? There'd be fucking way more, John, wouldn't there? If everyone was allowed to walk around with guns, would there be more shootings? There'd be way more, mate. So, no, you probably wouldn't expect it more from a Sikh. I know we're comparing it to jihadis, aren't we? Just love all that crap. But there's dickheads in every group, mate. So we should expect it if people are allowed to carry. If you're allowed to carry one blade round with you, then you're going to think, well, if they pull me over, I'll just say, here's my knife. I'm allowed to carry this, and they'll let me go. They won't check around the back for your 12-inch sword or whatever it was, and you.
Well, here's Martin Daubney, okay, and a very emotive monologue from him about it.
A wise boy lay bleeding to death on the pavement, handcuffed by the police who believed the lie. He himself had been the racist. Lies from the murderer's brother helped him bleed out on that pavement. His mother then helped to conceal the weapon. Where has been the political outrage? Where has been the media outrage about the tragic death of Henry Nowak? Flip the races, and this surely would have been Britain's George Floyd moment. Cities would have burned. Riots would have occurred. Endless hand-wringing narratives sprung by the politicians and the media and the celebrities out there saying Britain is broken. There's been a deafening silence around the murder of Henry Nowak until today. You can be damn sure we won't be silent on this. Heads need to roll. Britain needs to change. We're betraying our own citizens on the altar of political correctness. The police force, too afraid in the shadows of being called racist, now got so far they're allowing white boys to bleed to death on pavements at the bequest of racist lies.
That's it, okay? No, they've got to actually make a big deal about this kid, okay? They've got to make a big deal about him. Fuck the rest of them, okay? Sick and tired of all this shit, okay? The apologies, and then the people get to, the people who are accountable get to retire with their full pensions. Fuck, it just makes my blood boil.
The name of that soldier was Lieutenant Colonel Mark Teaton. I've forgotten his name. And he was absolutely mullered with a knife outside his barracks.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a hate crime. And it wasn't terrorism because the guy was mental. No shit, Sherlock. All these people are mental. Anyone who believes someone flew up on a horse to the moon or split the moon to heaven or split the moon off, in my opinion, isn't the cleverest. So Chris Donald, as I say, I'm going to repeat his name. He was literally took in a car by Muslims in Scotland and burned.
Burnt. Yeah.
Never heard his name. There's no protest. There's no every year. They don't go around Islamic schools, do they? Ramming it into their
But everybody
brains.
hears about fucking George Floyd, fucking drug addict.
Yeah. Drug addict who tried to rob a pregnant woman with a gun to her stomach. Yeah, lovely guy, mate. Who even told them to put him on the floor. Lee Rigby slaughtered, beheaded in the street by two African heritage men because he was English and they were Islamic. Same for that Mark Teaton. Same for everybody. What's this guy in Scotland? I killed for Palestine. What? Really? No outrage? Nothing?
Mark, this is now a turning point. I'm absolutely certain of it. This is a turning point. And I think now that people will not let this go. People will understand. And the police, the credibility of the police has been hammered. And the judiciary with all this shit, going on. I mean, remember that, those girls that were raped? It's going back to the appeal court now. Okay. I guarantee you those kids are going to go to prison now. They will go to prison because they're beginning to fucking understand that the judiciary can't act in the way that they do.
They'll make sure they don't.
No, they've got to go. I mean, what pissed me off is there's no retrial of those airport thugs either. This is going to make people's blood boil. It's building. It's building, and you can see it.
It's worse because it emboldens them as well. Because now, you can get into a grief. When the police come, you can say, it wasn't me, he was racist. And in that couple of seconds where they're like, okay, I'll deal with him, you can go, boom, see you later, you're gone. It's setting a dangerous precedent now for people.
It is. You're only looking at...
As we've seen there, I'm not saying the scumbag's name, but he beheaded fucking children in Southport, mate.
Yeah.
And did we ever get a reason why? Did we ever get...
Nothing.
Oh, he's mentally ill as well, is he? Was it jihad? Because if it wasn't, he used jihadi tactics.
Yeah.
Why did he go to a school of kids who didn't look like him and murder them?
You see,
what was it?
Let me just say this: you are getting to a situation whereby you are going to have the equivalent of an Irish problem in this country, because people will just turn around and say, "Fuck you, we've had enough." Right?
I'd be lucky to get any views on YouTube tonight.
I don't give a shit. That's what will happen. That's what will happen. And then what are they going to do then? Because, you've got some really smart people out there who know both sides, and they're equally as well funded. What the fuck is are they going to do?
Shame we haven't got smart people in positions of power, John, or we might not be having to talk about all this shit, might we? Do you know what I mean?
Absolute it makes my blood boil.
I know, but we're only a week away from something else and something else and something else. People are coming desensitized to it now, where it's like you can't remember the names of the people anymore. You can't
think of the parents. Think of those parents of his senseless killing. Henry Nowak's parents and his family. I would fuck.
I don't want to have a go at dead kids' parents and victims' parents. But
no, I'm not having a go at them. I'm actually feeling for them.
No, listen to what I haven't. No, I'm not saying. I'm just about to say something. I'm not having a go at the victims' parents here, but the only ones I've seen really come out and stand up to it was Shannon. Was it Rhiannon? Sorry, her name wasn't it?
Yeah.
Rhiannon White. It was. It's kind of crickets from the rest of them. They kind of get that fobbed off bullshit from the police, and unless they know, it's just pointless. But you've got to fight, especially if your kids, because it's going to get to the point where we're all going to know someone eventually, or it's going to happen to all of us eventually.
Yeah, it's going to come close to home.
Unless we get these people out of Parliament and send millions of these scumbags home. Bye-bye. If you don't benefit the country, see you later.
Get out.
Why are you even here? Why are you here? I wouldn't go to another country if it didn't benefit the country. I've been and lived abroad, mate, and I've done my bit. I lived with the people from that country. I worked with the people from that country. I tried to speak their language. And then I came home eventually, because it's not my country. I never claimed to be one of them. And they respected me for that. Now they're having met the same murder as us, because they let a lot more of them in before we did. And they've got the same problem in Holland, mate.
It's such a a bad feeling, when you come to the end of the week and you're dealing with that stuff. Every fucking MP in the House of Parliament, they should be actually standing up and saying, "No, we're not backing this shit. This is not what we signed up for. No, fuck it. We need change. Policing, yeah, you really do need all those fucking people at the top need a good shake-up, right? Get rid. Okay, let's get some decent fucking thinking in. And the judicial guidelines? Oh, Jesus Christ, we need to do something about that.
Yeah, I think we need our version of Nuremberg, mate. We need to pick a city, and that's where they're all going. And then we can have some accountability and some people can get punished for this.
Yes. That's the main problem in this country.
It won't stop until then, will it?
The perpetrators always seem to dissipate and move away. And then you never hear from them again, and that's it. Accountability, get them in, take their fucking pensions off them. Take their pensions off them, ruin their lives, because what about the lives of the family of Henry Nowak? Gone. What about all the girls that have been raped, right, by the grooming gangs? Their lives are destroyed. Destroyed. And yet, what did they get? A total of 227 years? What about all the fucking people that got away with it? What about all the police officers that knew about it that did nothing and looked the other way? I hope Rupert Lowe, I really sincerely hope that he really wins through and gets the publicity to actually highlight all these things, to highlight the seriousness of all these things that have gone on.
We need offshore facilities, obviously, for these criminal migrants coming over. But guess who else needs to be going in them? And then you can all live happily ever after, can't they? Until we've sent the ones back.
Yeah.
But these people who've done this can stay on there and they can serve a sentence. Let the midgies have them as well. Because at the end of the day, mate, we can blame these criminal migrants all we want, but it wouldn't be happening if these absolute traitors, we'll call it Traitor Island, we'll put them all on there, mate, and we'll film them, and we'll do a little Big Brother thing, and everyone can watch what goes on Traitor Island, right? And if that is it. All right, it's not quite as good as, I don't know, capital punishment, but I reckon it's probably not far off.
Yeah.
Shame them. Look, your family can watch it. These are all the traitors on this island. God, we're going to need a big island. But I see people like...
Can we have Guantanamo Bay as the first stop?
Well, this is what I mean. We need our own. But it won't be for terrorists. It'll be for traitors. Traitor Bay. I'm sure we can find somewhere. I've looked into all this before, how much it costs to build facilities. As I say, it'll be the price of what we pay to keep these people in the country for a year or two.
Yeah.
Over 5 years. Bargain. Spend that money more wisely. And the traitors can go there too. I don't care, John, anymore.
Every illegal migrant,
finished, mate.
They say every illegal migrant is costing this country £500,000 during their lifetime.
Easy.
Right.
Well, think about it this way, though, mate. What about the ones who have to go through the court system? They're probably going to cost us a bit more than that, aren't they? Because we've looked into that before and how much these court cases cost. And then there's the cost of the families and the victims of all the violence and the rapes and stuff that have occurred from people who shouldn't be here and it should never have happened in the first place. And it's no good coming back with the answer, I know, yeah, but the majority of people who do that in this country are from this country and they're all white and British.
Oh, no, fuck off.
Fucking no shit, mate. But how can we even deal with them when we've got an absolute massive problem and it's just coming even more and more and more and more and more? And plus,
we don't need them. They're saying,
are they, John? You know,
this is going to enhance the economy. No, it's fucking killing us. That's what it's doing. You know, and if anybody doesn't like it and they don't like the way that we're talking, don't fucking listen. Get off our show. Don't listen.
Don't listen. Maybe go over to Liverpool and go and live in Kensington for a couple of weeks and see how you get on.
Do that. Do that.
And
see if you recognise the place.
Yeah, see if you recognise anyone. Especially if you grew up around somewhere like that. I've seen people go out filming, mate. I know people who've been out round there, mate. And they're like, wow, I grew up here and I know no one anymore. Look at all these shops, can't read a word of that language on there anymore.
No one should vote Labour. Nobody should vote Conservative. Forget these mainstream parties. Go for people that are going to change, real change. I don't care what you say, if you reform, right, or restore.
I kind of care, but I don't want to be telling people who...
I lean towards restore. I mean, because I like the policies this guy comes up with.
I'd love everyone to vote Restore and Rupert Lowe, but it's just at the minute, just not that. I don't want to be going into that argument right now tonight, but just if you think a party will fix this, then give them a go. Can't be any worse than the fucking last lot we had. But I'm not sure Farage. I'm not sure Farage is the man. That doesn't mean. Look, maybe Rupert's not the man, but Jesus, he says the right things and he doesn't care. And this, I don't care what you call me attitude is exactly what we've been trying to instill in people for years now. Let them call you whatever you want, mate. It doesn't matter. Look, they're going to call you racist, far-right, bigot, Nazi,
just
whatever.
Say you don't care.
Whether you're trying to save your country or not, so you may as well try and save it and be called the same names. They've been calling it me and you for 10 years. Who gives a shit? We're in a better position than we were then. So if anything, it probably helps. Let them carry on. In fact, encourage them to do it.
Yeah.
And then the baffled, I say, carry on then, because this does us. And then they're like, ooh, what? And they stop. I mean, you can't stop them all, but...
I'm going to play this video again, just to get a message through.
Yeah, before you do, it's the suicidal empathy thing again.
Yeah.
It's the same with immigration. It's the same... It was the same thing. Suicidal empathy is going to kill us. It's the same with Henry Nowak, same with the immigration, same with the climate change.
No, fuck that.
You've got to fight your climate and your racism. It doesn't matter what else is happening. It doesn't matter whether someone's dying on the floor, someone's being gang raped in the back of a van. It doesn't matter. In a house, 700 men, one girl said. It doesn't matter. As long as you're not racist. I'm not being funny, right? It's going to sound bad, but racism isn't the worst thing in the world, is it?
No.
I'm not one who goes around discriminating people on skin colour. Never really have, mate. But when you do it, just think of the most racist person you've ever met. Were they even that bad? They might make a couple of shitty jokes in the pub, which some people laugh, some people wince. But at the end of it, 5 minutes later, they're on about something else. And guaranteed, if a black man walks in the pub, they ain't saying shit to him, are they?
No.
So is it really as bad? Is this country really as racist as you think? Or do some people just run their mouth a little bit and won't even do anything about it, you know?
Well, we're going to wrap.
Murders have there been?
I get it. We're going to wrap up. No, we're going to wrap.
And what was the other one? Yeah, we'll do Anthony Walker and the other guy. If I can think of any more.
All right. We're wrapping it up.
Me neither.
What do you mean, me neither? We're wrapping it up. We got to go. Going on for too long. Okay? We've spoken about it. We've spoken quite, emotively, about this. And the end vid is quite apt. It's from Amelia. and you will like this. And to all the listeners, thank you very much for listening. For the people that, that don't like it, get lost. Do us a favor. Just don't listen. Bye-bye. Okay?
Yeah. But, carry on turning a blind eye, and then when it comes back in the arse, don't moan about it.
Don't moan. Don't say anything. Right? And here she is. For the rest of us, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Might be getting a bit of rain on Sunday, but
Yeah, it's been a nice little run anyway, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a nice run.
It'll be a bit cloudy tomorrow, but still going to be a bit warm. But everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend.
It could be snowing on
Monday.
Remember,
get out there.
Yeah.
Do some good in your community.
Some good.
Let's get these dickheads out of Parliament, because the only way, we're going to be saying the same things on podcasts and on in-cars and on Twitter.
And if anybody wants to say anything, we are getting involved and we are doing things. We don't just sit back and, talk about it. Okay?
We've always been involved in some way, haven't we? Do you know what I mean?
We have indeed.
I can't sleep at night just talking about things. Just talk about stuff.
True enough.
Talk does good, but it doesn't fix the problem in the long run, does it?
That's it.
We'll get out and talk to people.
Here's Amelia.
Oi, you hear that? The boats are still coming, but not for long. Turn it up! Don't unpack, you're going back. Don't unpack, you're going back.
Could have got the decks to actually play.
Engine on, next stop Calais before the dawn.
Wow, at least something's playing now.
Shores like it's some kind of game. Hotels full, taxpayers foot in the shame. They rape, they lie, they demand we comply, but we don't agree, and we're done being shy. No more benefits, no more free ride, no more grooming our kids while the elites hide. You crossed the water, broke every law, now pack your shit, this isn't your shore. Don't unpack, you're going back. Don't unpack, you're going back. Suitcase shut, engine on, next stop Calais before the dawn. Don't unpack, you're
Aren't the words great?
Yeah.
you're going back.
We need one about we don't care.
And start anew. But Bristol Britain's here and we're coming after you. No hotels, no houses, no more free meals. Brits first, that's the only deal. Red list countries, criminals out first. Foreign offenders, get them in the hearse. Back where you came from. Mass deportation, hear the people roar. Millions must go, this is our shore. One more time. Louder!
We should have put this in for the Eurovision Song Contest.
You're going back.
That's catchy.
We haven't got room. We can't keep track. Don't unpack.
All is what you like. Don't give a shit.
You're going back.
I like Amelia.
I'm a bit jealous she's got 4 channels on that. I've only got 2. She'll swap.
Thanks for watching. We had a blast making that one. If you
British
enjoy our
Patriots,
videos as
they're
much
great.
as we enjoy making them, please subscribe, give us a like, a share, and if possible, a hype. And you can now also join our members area, where you will
Brilliant.
get a first look at new videos before they're released to the public.